Yo, what up? Prince Sports here. Yo, now, when it comes to I normally rock with T.I., man. Um, he burnt, what's that girl? Candace Owens. He put her in her place. But on this topic that he talking about now, I don't think I could agree with. He made, he was on the Hot 97 on an interview, and he said, he's better than 50 Cent. And then he said there's an NYC bias against what? ATL rappers? Dog, are you kidding me? Yo, T.I., man, you gotta get your facts straight, dog. Let me educate you on something a little bit. If it wasn't for New York, there wouldn't be no hip hop. All right, we set the trends. And it was that. That's that. It's a fact, homie. All right? All right, the whole essence, you go to South Bronx, you go to Queensbridge, you go to Harlem, you go to Brooklyn. We made hip hop. The way we walk, talk, we the one who, the reason why you got millions of dollars is because of New York. All right? So it's not a bias, it's a simple fact that we laid down the rules for something that we created. Something you didn't create. They didn't create that in the ATL. They didn't create hip hop in the ATL. That shit originated in New York, dog. You know what I'm saying? So, like Big Pun said, I'm the one that you get your rap style from. You know? We set that trends, man. So we dictate who's lyricists and who's dissing that. I mean, he said he was a better lyricist than 50 Cent. I'm dog. I mean, I know 50 Cent, he ain't the type of rapper that he used to be, but 50 got hits. 50 got some classics. I mean, Get Rich or Die Trying better than T.I.'s whole catalog, to be honest with you. So, and before Get Rich or Die Trying, 50 was hot. I could vouch for this because 50 come from my hood, basically. I mean, we all Queens cats. He from my own backyard, basically. So, I can tell you on the streets, 50 was hot. Even before he met Eminem. That's why Eminem grabbed a hold of him, because he know 50 was hot. You know, 50 was kicking that real street shit. And, you know, that gutter hip hop, he brought it back. You know, a lot of dudes can't perfect that type of hip hop that 50 was doing, man. 50 was a go-getter, a true hustler. And he was repping that, man. He was bringing that real hip hop to you. You know, no buts, ifs about it. So he said he wanted to challenge 50 Cent to a rap battle. I guess it's verses when they compare each other's hits to each other. But T.I. can't fuck with 50 Cent. I'm sorry. On no day. 50 may not be the best rapper of all time and nothing like that, but T.I. ain't fucking with no 50 Cent, man. You know, I don't even know if T.I. messing with Lloyd Banks lyrically. He said he was a better lyricist. He ain't messing with Banks, Punchline King. So, 50, better than T.I. And T.I., my message to you, dog. It's New York, man. Ain't no New York bias, dog. This is New York City we talking about. It'd be a different story if hip-hop didn't start it in New York. But being the fact that we set the trends, and we the one that kept the culture moving, and we should be the ones to start hip-hop as we did and end it. So if we dictate what real hip-hop is and what's the rules and the jurisdictions of what hip-hop is, we could do that because we started it. As simple as that. And you want to know what the origins of hip-hop was always preserved for people that come from certain neighborhoods. Public housing, you know, inner city projects, you know, slums. You know, that was our voice, our way to getting out to the world, you know. And it started out as like civil rights. You know, hip hop was more some civil rights shit. Then as time went on, it got to that street shit, especially when the 80s kicked around and the drug pandemic kicked in and infiltrated some African American communities. This is how the era started. You know, you ever heard the quote, "Life as a shorty shouldn't be so rough," you know, to kick the truth to the young black youth. You know what I'm saying? You know where that come from? That come from the projects. That come from that inner city grind, that inner city hustle. You know what I'm saying? That New York shit. Who better to rep that New York shit? You know, better than dudes like Nas, 50 Cent. Of course, I may not be a rapper, but son, nobody rapping New York like your boy. You know? Come on, man. Who keeping it New York? All day, every day. I always keep it New York. I could be in the middle of Alaska. Oh, yeah. That cat from New York, son. You know? All day, every day. You know what I'm saying? So T.I., man. Dog. You keep talking reckless. You may not be able to go do New York. You know, you may see a couple of goons after you, man. You got to be watching what you say, especially when it pertains to New York. You see what happened to Kendrick Lamar, man. He almost got rooted out New York. Real talk. You know, you got to come correct when you speak in hip-hop. And the rules for hip-hop are different for New Yorkers. You got to actually be able to rap. Where you come from, in the ATL, rap skills don't mean that much. You guys just say a bunch of dumb shit. You know, catchphrases. You know, new dance routines. Shit like that. Pop and lock. But you ain't kicking that real street shit. You ain't kicking that real shit that people like me could listen to or relate to. You know what I'm saying? But I leave it off at that, man. Principal South. Keep it 3,000, man. Peace.